So over the past few days, the One Piece card game Twitter account has only really been doing art only reveals, so just revealing the artwork of future cards and not really revealing anything about the cards. For example, the art only reveal for like Kaido had like a red border when Kaido is very clearly supposed to be a purple card, so that kind of shows just how placeholder the information about the art-only cards are. And so we've been wondering, hey, when are we going to get some actual information about cards, like how they're going to play and everything? And finally, over the past couple days, we seem to have been starting to get that info again. So we've got 2 new cards. One was revealed yesterday and the other was revealed today. And I'm going to take a look at them, basically. So let's go ahead and do so. So yesterday we got Zoro. And Zoro is free cost, 5,000 power, and says Don times 1, this character gains 1,000 power, which basically means when you attach 1 Don card to this character card, it gains 1,000 power. Pretty simple, right? But because this game is so new, a lot of things have been left open to like interpretation, and so we don't actually know exactly how this card works, even though it seems very simple. So I'm going to be talking about the possibilities of like the speculation of how it could work, as well as how I actually think it works. So basically, the first thing I thought of when I saw this card reveal was, does this ability stack? So if I add a second Don card, does the ability activate again, causing me to gain another 1,000, meaning I would have gained 2,000 from the effect? And the answer I've ultimately come to is probably not, right? So what I think it is that it activates when 1 Don card is attached. It says right there, Don times 1. Which means it probably wouldn't activate again multiple times. I don't think it would actually stack, right? I think you just get the extra 1,000. Which is still pretty good, right? Because, again, this is a game of magic numbers, where like your cards are going to have a certain power numbers and your opponent's cards are going to have certain power numbers, and the extra 1,000, like if your opponent's also playing cards with 5,000 power, then the extra 1,000 on its own is going to be enough to get through that. And plus, the Don card itself also gives power, because the only revealed Don card so far gives 1,000 when attached. So this is a free cost card that could potentially go up to 7,000 pretty damn easily, which is really good. You know, you would need 4 Don cards to do this, because you need an untapped Don card to attach. So you'd still need 4 Don cards to activate it, like, and use its ability. But it's still pretty good. And hell, even 5,000 for free cost. That seems to be the vanilla, like, averaging. Because I'm pretty sure Jinbei has the same, but it's still not too bad, right? Like, that's still enough to take out some blockers and stuff. So I'd still say this is a pretty damn good card, right? So the other thing people were speculating was, will this ability persist during your opponent's turn? And I believe it does. Now, of course, we don't have any confirmation, but I believe it does. And the reason for this is, so when you attach a Don card, it gains power, right? But the Don card's power only persists during your turn. So when you end your turn, so say for example I attach, I have a free cost Jinbei, right, which has 5,000 power. I attach a Don, that takes that power up to 6,000. But then I end my turn, which makes it go back down to 5,000 again, even though it has a Don card attached. Now let's think about Zoro, the card on screen right now. So free cost 5,000, you attach a Don card, that brings it up to 6,000, that also activates his ability, bringing it up to 7,000. So your turn ends, which makes it go down from 7,000 to 6,000, but, well, the best thing to do in a card game like this is to take the ability text literally. So Don times 1, this character gains 1,000. The Don's still attached, which leads me to believe that the ability still persists. So I think that on your opponent's turn, this card's still going to have 6,000. Now again, we don't know that for certain, but I think that makes sense to me, at the very least. I think that the ability will persist, which is good. That's a really good defender now. It means that like it's going to be a lot more difficult for your opponent to take it out. Your opponent's probably going to have to use one more Don card than they'd like to. to take it out, and I like that a lot. That seems to be very, very good. Now, of course, this is a starter deck ability, so I do believe that this is going to be fairly vanilla. I feel like we're going to be seeing similar abilities in the other 3 starter decks as well, and I think we'll be seeing stronger versions of this ability in upcoming sets. But it's still a good card to get the idea of what attacking and defending in the game is going to be like. So I still like this card quite a lot. Yeah. So let's go on to the second card that we got revealed. If it will let me. There we go. So the second card we got revealed, and this is the one that got revealed today, is King from the Beast Pirate. So this is from the Kaido starter deck. He has a cost of 6, 7,000 power, and he's a Beast Pirate. So his ability, as written on screen there, is on play, Don -1 to KO up to 1 cost 4 or lower enemy character. So basically, how this works is you play him from your hand by, tapping 6 Don cards in your cost area, and then you take one of those Don cards. It can be upright or rested. We don't actually know if this works, if it's upright or rested, but I'm going to assume it does. You take one of the Don cards in your cost area and you put it back into the Don deck. Which is really expensive because 6 cost to play him is already really expensive, but removing a Don card back to the Don deck is really going to slow you down in regards to setting stuff up. So this is an expensive card. However, KOing up to 1 cost 4 or lower enemy character is crazy good. That's like incredibly good. Yeah, now the only real caveat here, well, there's actually a few. The first is on play, so this ability does not stack. You cannot use it like once per turn or anything like that unless you can play more than 1 King, which means King is now going to be a 4 of. You are going to be playing 4 of this card. I don't know if the starter deck will give you 4 of them, but you're going to want 4 of them. Second of all, it's expensive, as I've already mentioned. 6 cost, that's going to take a handful of turns to get going. If you're going second, meaning you start with the 2 Don cards, that's going to take 3 turns to get this thing out, because you're adding 2 Don cards per turn. Which means that, and you're also going to have to send back 1 Don card, which will slow down your setup in future turns. So it's expensive. But not only is it expensive, it's also kind of useless if you can't play it, right? It doesn't have a counter on the side of the card, and countering seems to be a good way of getting rid of expensive cards you don't need. Because from what I'm aware of, you don't need to pay any kind of cost to counter from your hand, right? Which means this card is kind of useless early game. In your first 2 or 3 turns, you're not going to be needing it. However, as a late game tool to get rid of your opponent's board, it is really good. So why is this good? This is good because it basically stops blockers. If your opponent sends out a blocker to block an attack with, you can just yeet it off the board basically and get your extra attack in. So this is a good way of staying aggressive and stopping the opponent from being able to defend. Plus the 7,000 power basically guarantees your opponent isn't going to be able to defend, because we haven't seen any cards with power as high as that revealed so far, which is kind of crazy. As we just mentioned, the Zoro card can get up to 7,000 if you use its ability and attach it on, but that's only on the Zoro player's turn, and that can only evenly match King. So the Zoro player is going to need 2 Dons to overwhelm King on their turn, but on the King player's turn, Zoro doesn't stand a chance. So it's very, very powerful, and I really like that it does deny your opponent. Again, being able to stop a blocker and just get rid of it so that you can get an additional attack in that turn is really good, because that means you're going to be dealing 1 more damage to your opponent, which means you're going to be speeding up the game quite a bit once you've got this card out. So that's a very interesting thing to take note of. And so yeah, those are the 2 cards that we've had. And that's what I've had to say about them. Again, you know, I've mentioned it's a little bit fuzzy as to how the cards work, because there are a lot of additional values that we don't know about. However, I believe that what I've just discussed will be the correct way of playing them. We won't know for certain until we see some games, which will probably be at the end of May when we get that One Piece card game livestream. But yeah, those are the two cards. Let me know what you think of them in the comments below. And remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. I will be doing a lot more videos from now on about the One Piece card game. Remember, for every statement, there's always an asterisk. See ya.